Hello, hello. Welcome to Cooking with the Cooks. This is Josh.
And Tara.
And we're back for episode 4. Man, thank you guys so much for listening to us. We got over 500 downloads. We getting some traction. We getting people to listen. We like it. We heard some good feedback here and there, and I'm enjoying it. What about you, Tara?
Enjoying it.
All right. Well, welcome back to Cooking the Cooks. We talk about being, parents, kids, and just real life stuff. Let us cook, right?
Right.
That's our slogan. but today's question is there a guide to being a parent? Is there a book? Is there some perfect way to parent? And I ask this question as if I know nothing is perfect. But is there a certain way you think that your experience that you can give to someone else, Tara? Or Josh? Or Josh, what do you think too as well, Josh? It's a question for sure.
Not really.
Yeah.
I think that you learn how to parent from how you was parented.
Really? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
If you feel like you was parented like not really well, like you didn't feel taken care of, safe, something like that, then with your kids you would try to make them feel taken care of, safe, blah blah blah. If you feel like you was taken care of very well, then you would want to mimic or maybe do a little bit better than what you experienced. So
that's actually a great answer. I think you've answered the answer very good. You pretty much do
I'm
learn.
not surprised.
You do learn. You do learn how to parent from your parents.
Yeah.
And then if your parents do something in their parenting that you don't like, when you're a parent, you just do differently.
Yeah.
So basically, if you grew up and you had bad parents, when you become a parent, you just try to do the opposite of what you did. Or if you did enjoy your childhood, you would try to, technically you should repeat it.
Exactly.
Right. But all kids are different.
Yes.
And that same thing might not work.
That's true.
You might have to audible. You might have to figure something out that's completely different than who's there. So that's what I'm saying. There really there's examples, but there's no make sure your kid does this by certain ages. Unless there's a disability or something like that. You know what I'm saying? What age do you have to walk? And I know it's broad. It don't gotta all be 2.
Right.
It can be 3. It could take up to 4. But I'm just saying,
you walking by your first birthday?
Should you be walk? But some kids don't walk by their first birthday.
Yeah, some kids don't, and that's not parenting though. That's a developmental thing.
But that's part of being a parent.
Not really.
You're not supposed to develop your child.
No, that's your own development, walking and stuff like that. That's something your kid.
You have to teach your kid that.
I don't know.
You don't teach your kid how to walk.
I would say I would use a better example would be swimming. Some parents
riding a bike,
throw their kids into
teach them how to ride a bike.
Or teach them how to ride a bike. Some kids push their kids into the water and they figure it out.
But
and some people actually put their kids
they need your help to learn how
swim
to do that.
classes or actually teach them. Huh?
They need your help to learn how to do that.
To walk?
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, let's just say you don't help them and they don't walk and they're 5 years old. Wouldn't you be like, hey?
But eventually they're going to figure it out.
By themselves.
Yeah.
So you're saying the parents have nothing to do with that?
You help them, but you always say when my kid gonna learn how to walk. You don't never say I gotta teach my kid how to walk.
Yeah, sure.
But they see you walking. They're gonna mimic what you're doing.
Isn't that teaching?
But that's not you're not let me show them you have to walk like this. You're walking because that's just part of daily life. It's just part of your developmental thing.
I give you that to the point too, because I didn't really teach my kids how to crawl.
Right.
And babies all
you just learn how to do it. It's just a developmental thing.
But I feel like we had parents themselves have something to do with it. When you got the baby on one side. Whenever we did with Leah, to teach her how to walk, we put something in front of her that made her want to get up and do it. We helped her do that. We talked her up.
But I feel like it's different. I feel like it's different for walk. I don't know. I just feel like you the kid learn.
It's all right. We don't got to. You. It's okay. You right.
The kid learn how to walk like on their own.
I agree. I completely concur. They too. I think eventually they would learn how to walk on their own if they have the ability skills. I think you can leave a child by alone, make sure they're fed, and go to the bathroom. At some point, their legs will develop the strength to do it,
and they'll just be like if you, I feel like they look at you and they see what you're doing, just like I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. It's just something like you don't teach your kid how to eat, but they know when they grab the food to put their hand to their mouth.
No, well,
you don't teach
that's not.
them that.
I don't think that's complete, but that's more of an action though. It's not so much they know.
And so is walking.
No, okay, you got to teach your kid how to read.
That's different though.
Why is that different though?
I don't know. It just is.
Do you have to teach your kid how to read, or can you leave that to the school?
I mean,
here's the thing.
Technically,
okay, let's reading. Do you have to teach your kid how to read? And I'm not saying in a way that like people are being a bad parent. Does it make you a good or bad parent if you wait till they go to school?
If you're not helping your kid read, that makes you kind of a shitty parent.
Why? But why?
It's not just.
What if you just like, I'm not going to teach you how to read. I want to leave that to the school. When you go to school, they'll teach you how to read. But till then, I'm not going to teach you how to read.
Why wouldn't you teach your kid? What would be the reason to not teach your kid how to read?
I don't know.
Other than being like a shitty parent, like why would you not teach your kid how to read? What's the benefit of that?
Like their name and stuff like that. Like you know. Okay.
So do you not teach your kid how to spell their name?
I guess if you don't want to.
Why not though?
Well, they never ask.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like that.
But does that make you? Is that not?
But
okay?
That's different from
if
walking,
we're making a parent guide,
because
listen,
like walking is something they develop and do on their own. Reading and teaching them how to spell is something that you actually have to do. Okay. Have to help them do.
But if you make the book of parenting, like this is where the question is coming from, right? If we're making the guide of parenting, does it make you a bad parent just because you don't do that? But if you do everything else decently, go to work, provide food, clothes, shelter, but you just like, I don't want to show him how to read. I don't want to show him how to spell that. I don't want to teach him how to tie a shoe. I don't want to show him how to ride a bike. But you do, like, that's what I'm saying. If you do like the providing and the let's just say you're just a provider, or you're just the wife. You provide the food, the clean the clothes, and that's like all you want to do. Does that make you a bad parent?
What do you mean the wife?
Or the husband?
I'm just saying, like, why did you say the wife and then you like do the food and the cleaning clothes?
I don't know.
Is that what wife
God, that's not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
No, so I'm just saying, like, if the husband was just in a situation where the husband is just going to work and the wife is at home, all right, or it can be vice versa. The woman can be working, okay, or the husband can be at home.
Okay, I was just trying to get clarification.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah,
yes, it makes you shitty. There's no way around it. Because why would you not want to help your child to advance? How can you be a good parent if you're not helping your child to advance?
What if they never asked?
Ask what?
What if they never asked?
Ask
what if
what?
When you tell them, listen, you tell them, like, hey, you want me to show you how to spell your name? You're like, no, I'm good. What if they're like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. I don't even know how to spell my name. But you gonna be like, okay. You gonna be like, all right, cool. You don't even know how to spell your name. I'm going to work.
It's so funny because I've never thought about anybody ever saying that. Like, let me teach you how to spell your name. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good.
Pass.
Give that to the next guy. Let him.
Yes, that makes you a bad parent, I guess.
Like, listen, here's an example too.
You know, there's some people that walking around that they know how to spell their name, but there's some people can't read, like adults.
I know, lots of people.
How do you go through? Like, no, I'm not even being funny. Like, I'm being serious.
No, I agree.
How do you be able to go through life and not learn? Like, I thought that even if you don't sit down and get a tutor on how to read, stop looking at me like that because I'm not trying to be funny.
No, because I thought it sounded funny. I didn't stop myself from saying it.
But just like daily living, talking, seeing signs, like, you know, stop signs and stuff like that. Like, how do you not learn how to read? I don't know. I don't know.
As an over 18-year-old adult, when you see a stop sign that says stop, but you never taught how to read, you don't understand that. You can't read it. Like, you can't read. I feel like stop and go are some of the most fundamental. Like, it's almost like breathing, knowing how to spell or seeing the word. Like, there's no way you can't understand green go. It's not a way you can't see stop red. And I'm just, obviously there are people who can't and stuff like that. Know, like dyslexia and stuff like that. Not to talk about people, just like.
Right.
I think at some point you just start to understand words.
It's just got to be so challenging to go through life like that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard. But maybe if their parents were taught that's I'm telling you, I'm serious. Like, does that make you a bad parent?
Yes. How many times do you want me to say it?
Do you have to interact with your kid? And like, does that make you like? If you was like, just a business guy, you always out in business. You're not a bad person, but you always got to be gone. But your son got the best life, and I ain't talking about what might happen with the kid.
If he got the best life, then why? And you're busy, hire a tutor.
Let me say this. Oh, okay, that's true. That's a good point. What I'm saying is, as the mental and developmental of the person, human being, like, do you find it crazy that the child would be upset with the parent because they do that, because they're not around, but they do provide this like amazing life for them? Do you think it's fair for the child to be mad? I think as I said that, I do understand it, and people can have their feelings and they can feel any way they want. I'm just saying, though, what would you suggest as a parent how they should feel? Should they stop and concern more with the kid and make less money? Or should they just, keep doing what they're doing? I feel like, as of that question, I hate to keep talking.
Go ahead.
Is that you don't know, does anyone really like their job that much that they would put it over their kids?
It's a lot of people that do that.
But is it just because of I feel like it's a little selfish to put the money, because I feel like that's putting money over your kids. That's how I feel like it is. You're putting money over your kids.
I guarantee you go ask a lot of rich kids.
Oh yeah,
kids
I know,
who grew up rich, and a lot of them are not going to say like my dad was always around or something like that. And some of it is because they like the lifestyle that they live from having all that money, so they want to maintain that lifestyle or that status. But
yeah. I think
if you don't help your kid to learn how to spell and read in any way possible, whether it's you or you hire somebody to do it, then you can't actually say they having a good life. This is in my opinion. You can't say they having a good life because they're going to be developmentally behind other people in their age.
That's true.
So what what kind of a good life are they having that you're hindering them?
But look at it this way. Let me tell you let me play devil's advocate. You can do all that, right? Sacrifice it, for the children. Maybe getting the tutor and working is not possible. You can only do one. It's either you work or you got to work and get the tutor, or if you don't work, you don't get the tutor. And you do stay with the kid and you show him all this stuff, and he still ends up being unhappy.
Well, that's just something that you're risking. But you do your part, though.
But that's what I'm going back to. As I say that, I'm speaking more to our question for today. It's just like the guidebook. There's no real guidebook to being a parent. It's all just kind of random and luck. A lot of it. You try to aim straight and see where you land.
Your guidebook, like I said, is how you was parented. I'm sticking by that because that's what it really is. Even if, it's how you was parented. A guidebook is just something that's like giving you suggestions. Yeah, how you was parented is a suggestion of how you should parent or how you should not parent.
Yeah, I like that.
And so
that makes sense.
You go on from there. You put your own little flair to it.
Yeah, someone's gonna steal that and put that in the rap. What you just said.
That's all right.
Yeah. That was bars right there. You was right. Guidebook's not exactly telling you. It's just guiding.
Right. It's not a rule.
Yeah, it's not a rule. It's just telling you like, hey, there's if you looking at Grand Canyon's over here, you can stop there. Here it is, or you can keep going. This is how much it costs and all this stuff, or you can do something else. It's just a guide letting you know where you at.
Yeah.
But I mean, what advice would you give?
I don't give advice.
What information would you provide to someone if they came up to you and they're like, mother, young, has a kid, 5 years old, we'll say, whatever, and they like, hey, Tara, I just got this great job opportunity, but it's going to take some time away from my kid. What would you tell them to do? And not just a little bit of time. I'm talking like a nice amount of time, like a huge chunk. Like maybe the weekends. They might not see him all day. So maybe you might they only see them on the weekends, maybe in the morning before they go to school. You know, something like that. What would you say? Would you tell them just not to do it, or?
I can't answer that question because I need more backstory on the situation. It's all about it's situation.
There's no one else. She by herself.
It might change her. It might change her kid life.
That's
Sometimes
true.
you gotta make that sacrifice.
It's true.
To get out of the hole that you in.
It is. That's what I. And as
it's all situational.
And as I ask a question, it's just more towards what I was as this segment's about. Is that there is no. It's just a guide. You know, there's no like Tara could have. She could like she even before she answered it, she said, "I'm not giving advice."
Right.
You know, I'm not telling you what to do. You know?
Right.
There's no. You know, I think that's what we're trying to let everybody know is that there's no.
Yeah, I could tell that girl like, oh yeah,
right, this and that, but
take the job and be away from your kid,
right.
But she might regret that later.
But you see, I think it's different for men. I do think it's men because if let's just say Josh came up to me, he's like, hey. And now we're changing the question a little bit because I'm adding an extra parent. The other one was just one parent.
Okay.
Now we got the mom at the place. But he was like, it's going to take kid. I need the money, but it's going to take some time away from my kid. I'm like, you going to have to do what you got to do, man. Like, you know, I mean, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got, guys. And then this is a different, like, conversation-wise. And also, going back to yours, it can actually be the same question with yours than a parent. You probably still tell her the same thing. You got to do what you got to do. It's either, you know, he got to get a job. Right, or it's like I would tell him like either she got to do it and you gonna stay at home, or you gonna do it and she gonna stay at home, or y'all got to figure out a way y'all can both do it together. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody you got to do it.
It is different for guys, and that's messed up for y'all. Yeah. Like y'all almost don't give y'allself the option.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, you know, somebody's got to do it. So hey, get out there, man. You know, that's I have to be like that's life, bro. It's like hey. It's either that or you're going to be living in my basement. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do that.
Right.
You don't want to do it with a kid and your girl. Y'all want to live in my basement.
Right.
You know? And then even if you do that, you only going to be doing it for a certain amount. Like, it's like you're going to make that jump into, like, grown-uphood. Like, even if you sit in my house and just chill for 2... you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you sit in my house and you chill for 2 years living in my basement, at some point you're going to have to leave. And you're still going to probably have to take that job that you need. So you would still have to get that job at some point, you know. Because, you know, I mean, it's so many pathways and destinations for people to go and live their life. And, you know, how situations can change from one thing to another. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, positive, you know. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there is no guide to it.
There's no guide.
There really is no guide.
I mean, I don't agree with you. There is a guide. Sorry.
Is there?
I told you what's the guide.
Nah, that ain't a guide. That ain't no guide, man.
How you gonna say that's not a guide and you just was like, oh my God, those was bars. Somebody gonna put that in there.
Because I thought about it because I didn't say it.
Okay.
Now, if I had said it, what you doing? Did I say you take a break? What would you think would be... What would you do in that position? If someone... You had to make that choice. What would be your decision?
I told you, it's situational.
Do I have to give you a situation?
You don't have to give me a whole backstory. We're going to be here a whole another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Because you got to give me a whole backstory. I need to know her financial situation. I need to know, like, you know, if the other parent involved, if family support. I need all of that.
But we can agree, though, that you should teach your kid to read.
Yes. Yes.
But you can't, but you're not teaching. They should learn how to walk on their own.
They do learn how to walk on their own.
They don't. I helped my baby learn how to walk. Why you trying to take away my glory? You helped.
No.
We was there. We saw that little girl walk. We was there.
Yeah, we saw her walk.
Because we kept her fed and alive. We handled our responsibility. She was able to live.
You put your kid in a walker. They teach themselves.
Who bought the walker?
Walk. That's not you teaching her, though.
Who put them in the walker?
When you put her in the walker, she started moving her legs on her own.
Leah thought she was she thought she was a regular adult when she got her walker.
You know, I don't remember Leah even having a walker.
I remember her jumping around. No, She do a little jumping because she like a little bounce you get on it.
Mm-hmm.
She be running around the house. One little tooth, little snaggy tooth, little girl.
I don't know her having a walker.
Man.
Snagging tooth. She probably ain't had no teeth.
Huh?
She probably had like 2 teeth.
I mean, I'm just saying we used to call her snagging tooth. But, Leah was, Leah, I mean, some kids be trying to learn stuff on their own, too. You're right. I guess Leah would have figured out how to walk on her own.
All kids figure out how to walk.
I don't know about that. We gotta see the study on that. I'm gonna go find the study on that.
It's a developmental thing.
I mean, all right.
Yeah.
But we do agree. Teach your kid how to read. We all agree.
Yes.
Teach your kid how to read. Or you can ask them.
Absolutely.
Or you can ask them, do they want to learn how to spell their name?
And if they say no, I guess you
can we agree
issues.
If they say no, it's cool to back up?
No, I think if they say no, you got bigger issues at hand. Something else needs to be talked about.
You gotta press the issue.
Yeah.
You gotta press the issue.
Yes.
You gotta be like, hey, why don't you want to learn how to spell your name, little fella?
Like, what's up with that? Like, it has to be when they be like, no, I'm good. You gotta ask, like, why not? Like, it has to be a follow-up question.
Yeah, like, what's...
You gotta give me a reason.
Like, why don't you want to learn how to spell your name or say it or whatever? Like, you know my name. Oh, boy, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of when we had to reteach Janae how to spell her name.
Mm-hmm.
That's still some of the most bizarre stuff in the world.
What do you mean reteach her?
She forgot how to spell her name. She already knew how to spell it. She had been. That was what was crazy about it. She had spelled it already before, but then the one time we asked her, she couldn't remember to spell her name to save her life.
That's not how I remember that story.
We wrote it on paper, put it in front of her, showed her, pulled the paper away, asked her to spell her name, and she still couldn't do it. Meanwhile, we would put stop on a piece of paper, tell her to look at that, she would spell it out, and then she'd be able to spell stop by herself. But every time we asked her to spell her name...
I don't remember that situation at all.
Oh, my goodness. you don't even remember the last. So you didn't remember Leah and... I don't
remember Leah in the walker, but I remember sitting in the house
and
us trying to get Janae to spell her name. I don't remember her knowing how to spell it beforehand, and I don't remember doing
she
the
could
little
spell it
stop
beforehand.
thing.
She could spell it beforehand. So...
Okay.
Yeah. So what now?
Whatever you say.
What now?
Whatever you say.
What now?
Whatever you say.
What now?
You mad?
What now? That's why I had Crash on today on the
You
podcast. Because obviously
he probably is featured. His snoring probably in the background.
Alright, we want to let you guys go.
Before we leave y'all today, I just wanted to shout out Blaze by M on Instagram. They sell customized rolling trays, ashtrays. If you mention the podcast Cooking with the Cooks, you can get a promo matching rolling and ashtray set for $25.
All right, yeah. Thank you. Yep. Make sure you check out Cooking with the Cooks on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you guys listening to us, and we're out. Peace.
Bye.